We can get started, and we will have SWE USC go first. That's okay.
Yeah, that's good. I can try sharing my screen if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, one moment as I get that going. Um, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So hi, my name is Maimuna Khan, and I'm an upcoming sophomore at USC, and I am the VP of Community Outreach at SWE USC, and I'm joined with Pollock.
Hi, my name is Palak Sharma. I'm also a rising sophomore at USC, and I am a member on the Community Outreach Committee as well.
And today we will be presenting our solution pitch to several problems we've encountered over the years in outreach in our committee. Okay, go to the next slide.
The particular problem we'll tackle is the relationship building within our year-long mentorship program. But first, I'd like to introduce our mentorship program, which ran throughout both the fall and spring semesters last year. We had 30 dedicated USC mentors, a few of whom are pictured here, working with 65 mentees from local Los Angeles schools. The program focused on offering support with college applications, resume building, and insights into college life, including what to expect academically and socially. Through this initiative, we aim to help students feel more prepared and confident about pursuing higher education and exploring opportunities in STEM. Of course, we also faced several challenges throughout the program. One key issue was managing the mentor-to-mentee ratio, which made it difficult to provide consistent, personalized support. We also experienced varying levels of enthusiasm for the program, and at times struggled to maintain student engagement, with some mentees dropping off after just a few meetings. Coordinating with educators was another challenge, especially when trying to align schedules and expectations. Additionally, the lack of in-person events, due to distance, time, and resource constraints, limited opportunities for deeper connection and engagement.
To address these challenges, we introduced new strategies focused on creating lasting connections, and that came in the form of group building. So to introduce this a little more, instead of relying solely on a traditional one-on-one model, we began forming pairs and small teams, allowing mentees to build relationships not just with their mentors, but with each other as well. We also increased the number of activity-based events, such as the egg drop activity pictured below, and introduced friendly competitive challenges to make participation more engaging and to encourage collaboration. Our ultimate goal was to foster genuine friendships within the program, creating a stronger sense of community and sustained involvement. As a result to these changes, we saw some exciting outcomes. One, our activity-based and partner-focused approach led to increased event attendance and also greater interest among mentees in SWE leadership and STEM topics overall. Most importantly, we noticed the development of more authentic, lasting relationships, which also created a stronger foundation for continued engagement through the program. Looking ahead, our goal is to further strengthen community building by merging smaller pairs and groups into larger teams. These teams will participate in competitions and collaborative activities designed to deepen connections and enhance the mentorship experience. We're drawing inspiration particularly from the Big Little program, which you may have heard of, but it's not a popular program that we have used in other organizations and clubs that has proved effective in creating mentorship culture and that is both supportive and enduring. Thank you so much for listening. Please let us know if you have any questions or concerns.
We certainly do appreciate that presentation. Do any members of the live webinar have any questions? Okay, I don't see anybody's hands or anything.
I actually, small question.
Okay.
I'm actually not aware of the Big Little program. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, I can explain that a little more too. So the Big Little program is something that is used a lot in like social and identity-based clubs. It's something that I have used in other clubs that I partake in leadership as well. It's basically a program where like a certain big, which is usually someone that has more experience, like in the college experience and throughout the program or like in the club, is paired with like a freshman or someone new, and they kind of serve as a mentor and a guider to the little. And this is more effective than the traditional mentor-mentee relationship because it's not like the traditional mentor-mentee. It also focuses on like friendship building, and that is what really builds stronger connections because we have like hangouts, we do social gatherings as well. And so it's not strictly limited to academic context. It goes beyond that. And I think that's what really builds stronger connections.
Okay. So you feel like you've already followed this approach for some time and you've seen quite a bit of
Yes.
success and improvement?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the question.
I had a quick question. When you form the groups, is it like random groups, or do you like do a survey to figure out like interests, or how do the groups get formed?
We do usually do a survey. So there's a survey we take from bigs, and there was also a survey we take from littles. And we ask them like general questions about like what their interests are, what their hobbies are. So, and like where they're from, hometown. So when we were actually pairing these groups, we try to make sure they have similarities or they have characteristics that align. So that way they have like some sort of foundation to build upon in their relationship.
Any other questions? Okay, we'd like to thank you so much for that presentation. If I can have the judges send me their forms as we prepare for the next presentation. Um, we'll give them a few minutes to do that. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. Next up to do their pitch presentation is California Polytechnic. I believe you all have 3 presenters. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes, I could start sharing my screen. Okay. Are you all good to go?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for having us. We are Cal Poly SWE, and here is our outreach challenge.
Hello, everyone. I get the absolute pleasure to introduce my fellow SWEsters. So, my name is Maddie Howard. I am a third year mechanical engineering student. This year, I was the robotics outreach officer, and I get to continue that role next year. We also have Shane. She is a fourth year mechanical engineering student. She was our VP of outreach this year and is unfortunately leaving us as she graduates this quarter, so she'll be a SWE alumni. And last but certainly not least, we have Isabel, who is a third year material engineering student. This year, she is the SWEnext officer, and next year, she'll be our VP of outreach.
All right, sorry guys. Let me know if my Wi-Fi comes in and out because I know it's kind of doing that. But we all know that K through 12 outreach is so important for girls getting interested in engineering. And this also includes parents. So having parent educator programs helps educate parents or guardians on how to support their students' involvement in engineering. However, we've all seen oftentimes that students really struggle to step out of their comfort zone when their parents are in the same room. Sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's not, but a known presence can stop them from being encouraged to meet new people and make friends. Additionally, many students are less likely to participate fully in activities with their parents for fear of making mistakes. This means they aren't embracing failure and growing, something that is key not just for the success of an event, but also for the development of an engineer.
So our solution to this problem is through our parent educator program, which we specifically allow the parents to participate in the event through separate appropriate presentations and activities, which also allows the students to participate in activities on their own. Our presentations focus on why SWE and diversity in engineering is so important, and we go through the stats of not only Cal Poly, but in the engineering field as well. And we also provide at-home, inexpensive resources for the students to keep on engaging with engineering outside of our events. This includes SWENext brochures, robotics info packets, at-home activities, and also take-home worksheets. Regarding activities, we take the parents on tours across our university and our machine shops and engineering labs, so they're able to see what the student could get involved with, as well as they are able to meet these students, professors, and even our other campus clubs to see what student life is like. For middle and high schoolers, we even have the parents compete in our engineering challenges against the students, so they're able to go through an engineering challenge as well. One of our main outreach events each year is our SWEnext Leadership Training Conference, where we take on this role very thoroughly. In our PEP presentation, we went through a presentation to how students are being supported through college and some of the struggles that they may face, whether that is failing, how to be a long distance supporter, as well as how parents and advisors are able to get involved with their students. For our activity, we did a egg drop, which they had to budget the amount of money that they were going to use for the materials. And the parents had their own teams. So this allowed them to network amongst other parents and were able to hear feedback from other SWENext clubs and see what they do outside of our design challenge in our leadership conference. We also include a professor presentation, so they were able to hear from a professor themselves about their own engineering journey and their journey with dealing with imposter syndrome, especially in a male-dominated field. So being able to hear from a presentation from a professor, and they were also able to hear how the professor is able to support the students in a classroom setting to help alleviate some of the stress when the students go off to college.
Another one of this solution in action is our quarterly robotics building block events for elementary and middle schoolers. In building blocks, we complete new Arduino and coding challenges for these students to get them introduced to STEM at a young age. This year, during the 2-hour activity sessions we had specialized PEP presentations for the adults to go through the importance of starting STEM early and the resources and opportunities for them to get their students more involved in robotics. And this included information on local VEX and FIRST teams. We also went through some easy robotics activities and had open discussions and question times for the parents to talk to each other. We understood that for middle school and elementary students, they have a lot of time before their student is looking at college, but it is helpful for them to get to know their options and then help spread this information to other parents and family and friends. Something that it was really interesting for us to see was parents with engineering backgrounds were starting to give advice to the other parents and talking to them about some of their own struggles. It really formed a community for the parents to feel supported and allowed them to ask questions in a welcoming and safe environment. These prep presentations actually inspired a new 2025 Girl Scout robotics workshop where parents at the Building Blocks event specifically asked for another robotics event. Together, we planned a 4-hour event for 20 Brownie students to earn 4 different robotics badges. Parents were taken on tours of campus while their students worked on the activities, and then afterwards, the students got to present their robots and their ideas to the parents. Moving forward into next year, we will continue to implement our specialized PET programs and find new ways to grow them. We have found that having student professor panels for parents is great for parents to ask questions about college, housing, and financial aid, internships, and more. Having machine shop tours and other tours of engineering labs, or even campus as a whole, keeps the parents engaged and moving around campus where they can explore opportunities and learn how the skills their students are learning in the event have direct applications to real life skills. It also allows us to embody our Cal Poly philosophy, which is learn by doing. While we continue to make outreach events while we continue for outreach events for our students of all ages to get introduced to STEM, we're also going to continue to find ways to get the parents involved in learning about STEM too.
So in conclusion, the implementation of our specialized parent educator programs has given us a lot of significant positive results in our events. This includes higher satisfaction and participation from both students and parents. We've also gotten a lot of feedback, including how the parents loved the quality of the information presented, how they were included in the activity in kind of their own programming, and also how we provided free resources for them to encourage their student to get involved in at home. Additionally, our volunteers have noticed how much more independent and confident the students are participating in icebreakers and activities, making more friends, connecting with their students, connecting with their peers, and also the volunteers. We noticed that students tended to ask more questions during presentations and panels. They tended to thank the volunteers at the end of the day. And they also made a lot more friends outside of their circle that they came in with. Overall, this year, we saw very positive student connections being made and more engagement. And therefore, we are very excited to continue implementing these programs next year. Thank you so much. And do you have any questions?
So is 2025 the first year where you tried this out, or have you been again exploring this since the last couple of years?
We've been doing parent educator programs for a while, but this is kind of the first year that we started doing these really, really specialized one where we started involving the parents in the activities. So yeah.
Okay, and is it usually the parents for of like future potential students that who you invite, or also say your parents, or existing student parents who also sort of pitch in and help out with like future PEPs, whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah, so we do, I mean, we do K through 12 outreach like with pretty much, I mean, we do a lot of local schools, so maybe not like prospective Cal Poly students, but definitely like local schools and stuff. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we actually are required to have all the students that come to campus, their parents are required to come with them, kind of for supervision. It's a liability thing. And so this has kind of been our solution to deal with that because it means we have parents of pretty much every single participant that we have on campus. So yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Give us a few moments as we allow the judges to send in their read.
I think Roshanda has something to say. Uh, they have raised their hand.
Yes, my question was, you mentioned that the Girl Scouts receive badges. Do SWE have badges for Girl Scouts, or were those badges that you guys designed for the participants?
So they were actually like the Girl Scout badges. So we got all of the pamphlets and things that we needed to teach and go over for them to earn the badge. And then we just made sure our activities followed the Girl Scout guidelines, and then
Okay.
they got the Girl Scout badges.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for stepping in and acknowledging that question. I do apologize. Not on the screen. See the raised hand. So, that is our presentations for tonight. So, as you can see, we only have two groups presenting, which means the good news is they're both winners. So for the SWE Outreach Challenge number 2, relationship building, our runner-up is SWE USC. So they take home second place, and that means our first place winner is Calpi. Is that how you say? We certainly like to thank you both for submitting on time and meeting the deadlines. We certainly hope that you participate in more challenges as they come. Do we have any questions before I go ahead and end the webinar? Anybody?
Thank you for
Congratulations,
hosting
everyone.
this.
What did you say?
Thank you.
Shane?
I just said thank you.
Roma?
Thanks for the
Roma?
opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. Roma, did you say any? Do you want to say something? Okay.
Katrina, I have a request to all. I want to take a few screenshots for our blog post. So I'll request everybody to smile and maybe turn on their cameras if at all possible. Yeah. Say SWE. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
So on behalf of the Pre-College Engagement and Support Committee and the Challenges Work Group, we'd like to thank you for attending the Challenges 2 live webinar tonight. I want to thank the judges as well as our IT support. We really do appreciate them, as well as all those who came in support of the webinar as well as the pitch presenters. Thank you all. I think you all did a fantastic job. I want to wish you luck in your future endeavors and keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations to, I can't remember the name, but the person who's about to graduate and become alumni. So exciting. And continue to strive for excellence as you support and represent Society of Women Engineers. Thank you so much for your attendance tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Good night.